Welcome back into historic Bossy Field as the Evansville Otters are back home as they will take on the Mississippi Mud Monsters for the second time this year. Hello, everybody. My name is Lucas Macklin alongside my partner, Riley Angel, and you're listening to the Papa John's pregame show. Papa John's is the official sponsor of the Otters pregame and postgame shows. Available every game night, 20 minutes before and 10 minutes after each Otters game day on the Otters Digital Network and on Home Team Network. So, as I mentioned, they're coming off a 6-game road trip, went 1-5. Riley, you were there. What went wrong?
Well, really, the offense did their job, right? There were just moments where the pitching staff kind of fell apart. There were a couple of bad starts where starters only went 2 2/3 innings, especially those first two games against Schaumburg, where Ethan Bradford and Terrence Merritt only went 2 2/3. And then this past time against Florence, they were able to get runs early in each of those three contests. It was Braden Scott who went, and he gave up 7 runs, but gutted out a really tough 6 innings of work, which really saved that bullpen in an Otters win in the second game of that series. Montilva had a really good start, but still giving up 4 runs in 5 innings. And then C.J. Backer in the finale, going 2 2/3, giving up 6. The bullpen came in. They were okay, but again, when you give up runs early in ball games, it's really hard to come back and fight through it. But I did think that the Evansville Otters did a good job of that despite the woes that were there defensively.
And we got a few new Evansville Otters, but first off, we get one specific who will be starting tonight. It'll be Landon Willeman. He'll be wearing number 36. It's his first professional debut for Evansville.
And he spent his college days at Bowling Green in the MAC, so he got to witness some MACtion. In his final year there, which was earlier this year, he made 12 starts and only went 1-2, so not a lot of decisions for him, but a 5.02 ERA, 52 innings pitched, struck out 47. We'll see how he does here against a Mississippi team, which luckily for him doesn't hit a lot of home runs, and offensively hasn't been stellar this year, and hopefully he can come out here, get a good start, and lead the Otters off on this homestand the right way.
And one thing that I noticed when I was looking through him is that he really had his best stretch down the stretch for Bowling Green. And from April 27th to May 17th, he struck out 16 batters over 14 2/3 innings and only allowed 2 earned runs. So it seems like he's really coming in on a hot streak, as he will get the start, like I said, tonight for Evansville as he tries to jumpstart this team.
And hopefully the offense picks up right where they left off on the road. They were really good. I mean, we look at the series against Florence. They scored 9 runs in the finale, 9 runs in the second game, and 4 runs, which with your ace on the mound, you can live with in the first game. So, again, the offense has done a good job of getting in a position to where they can actually win ball games. Hopefully, the pitching starts to mold around that, and hopefully that becomes a positive as well.
And there were some following transactions as well for the Otters. They released the pitcher Terrence Merritt. They activated Logan Brown from the inactive list. He will get his first start tonight for the Otters. They also signed Jack Washburn, who will wear 31. He potentially could be a starter, may end up being a reliever. It's yet to see where they'll have him at, but they did pick up another pitcher, and they will be getting another one tomorrow, officially.
I'll tell you what, I'm really excited for Logan Brown, catcher coming in, starting. He's batting 8th today, and hopefully he can do a good job coming off the IL. Obviously today is first game, so we'll see. But last year, 242 his batting average. He drove in 27, hit 3 homers in 51 games. So if he can come in and be the same guy he was last year in that catcher spot, I think that's pretty huge for the Otters to get that amount of offensive production.
And on the field right now, Nate Wolgemuth was signed by the Astros, so he'll join the Astros organization. It'll be his first time in a major league organization. Obviously, the Otters will be without him, but a huge sign for a guy that really found his stride, especially while he was on the road.
Man, he looked good against Florence this past Saturday, and he's just such a good kid. Definitely deserves this opportunity. When you go in there and you're blowing guys away with 96, 97 miles an hour in a big spot nonetheless in the 10th inning, there's just a different mindset you have to have. For a guy like him, he has earned this opportunity, and hopefully he goes on with the Astros and does really good things and their affiliate teams, with their affiliate teams and their minor league organizations, and maybe make his way up to the big leagues.
Yeah, and with that, you're going to want to see the rest of that bullpen really rally around and step up. Obviously, we've seen great things from guys like Alex Valdez and Griff Hughes and Yohan Gonzalez, but really kind of put it together and get themselves consistent, especially bringing in some of these new pitchers and hopefully build a team that, we've seen can really hit. And if they're able to really find consistent pitching, they could be a dangerous team. Obviously it was a tough road trip, but you're only three and a half games back of the division lead. So even with a rough home road trip, you're still in the hunt, and you really got to try to find your footing.
And against Florence, I think that's a series against two ball clubs that are very similar. Florence at the top of the league in a lot of hitting statistics, but they just haven't quite found the pitching. Evansville in the sort of the same boat. I think Evansville's been more consistent than Florence this year. They just kind of had some tough breaks on the road this week. But hopefully Evansville, if they find that pitching, if they make some good signings, if some of the other guys who we've seen be really good start to be really good every time we see them, this could be a dangerous team coming down the stretch as we get into the dog days of summer.
You're listening to the Papa John's pregame show. Papa John's is the official sponsor of the Otters pregame and postgame shows, available every game night, 20 minutes before and 10 minutes after each Otters game on the Otters Digital Network and on the Home Team Network. Home Team Network is the exclusive home of every Frontier League game this year. Check out Home Team Network to sign up today and get a front row seat to every Otters game this year. We're here in historic Bosse Field as the Evansville Otters look to take on the Mud Monsters for the second time this year. We did see them earlier this year, but a couple of really close losses. They weren't able to pick up a win while in Mississippi, but some close games that came down to the wire, just weren't able to get that big hit. But really, in this ballpark, we've seen the Otters be able to do just that.
They've been really good in Bosse Field. On the road, they're just 1-8, but here at home, 7-4. And last time they were here, really good week. Won 2 series against 2 really good ball clubs in the Boomers and then Lake Erie. That obviously, the Lake Erie series still having to be concluded on July 29th when they're back here in Bosse Field. But if you can take that momentum from the last homestand here to this one, I think that the Otters can be very dangerous this week as we go into Lake Erie next week.
We look at the Central Division. Lake Erie and Washington both tied at the top for the division lead. Florence are 2.5 back, while Evansville is 3.5 back, so still very much in the fight for the division.
Absolutely. Again, first month of the season is away. You can't win a division in May. You can definitely lose a division in May. And I think the Otters have done a good job of putting themselves in a position to where they can compete with this division year in and year out.
Let's go ahead and look at the starting lineups today for today's ball game. First, we'll start with the Mississippi Mud Monsters. Leading it off and playing center field will be Braylon Skinner. Batting second and playing third base will be Travis Holt. Batting third and playing left field will be Kyle Booker. Batting fourth and playing shortstop will be Tyquan Forbes. Batting fifth and playing second base will be Roberto Gonzalez. Batting sixth and playing right field will be Corel Paz. We saw him earlier this year. He really hit the ball well against the Otters, so it'll be interesting to see what he does this week. Batting seventh and playing first base will be Nick Hassan. Batting eighth and catching today will be Victor Diaz. Batting ninth and DHing will be Samil De La Rosa. Pitching for the Mud Monsters will be Rodney Theophile. It'll be the first time we see him this year. He's started 3 games, pitched to a 7.82 ERA. He's pitched 12 2/3 innings, given up 11 earned runs. He's given up 6 walks and struck out 12. Again, this will be the first time we see him as the Otters. Speaking of the Mud Monsters, a couple of housekeeping things. A couple players we saw back in Mississippi. Ryan Cash, the switch-hitting third baseman, and Davis Bradshaw, the left fielder who spent time in the Marlins organization, are both on the IL, so we will not see them, at least in this game, and who knows how much longer. Now let's look at the lineup for your Evansville Otters. Leading it off and playing shortstop will be Alay Camus. Batting second and playing center field will be the ever-dangerous Graham Brown. Batting third and playing third base will be Paven Parks. Batting fourth and playing right field tonight will be L.J. Jones. Batting fifth and playing second base will be J.J. Cruz. Batting sixth and playing first base will be Raymond Gill. Batting seventh and DHing tonight will be Keenan Taylor. Batting eighth and catching tonight will be Logan Brown, fresh off the inactive list. And batting ninth and rounding it out will be Ty Krittenberger. As we mentioned, the first professional start for Landon Williman, the rookie pitcher out of Bowling Green. to be really excited to see what he can give the Otters this year.
Yeah, and hopefully he can just be one thing, and that's consistent. Yes, we've said a lot so far in this pregame show, but consistency is something that the Otters really need. And he was consistent all 4 years while in Bowling Green. He was sat around about the same numbers. Yes, he fluctuated a little bit, as most guys do, but if he can keep the Otters in ball games through 6 innings each night out that he's in there, only give up 3-4 runs an outing, that is perfectly fine, especially the way this offense has been hitting.
He's a guy that has proven to be able to give length. Back in 2024, went 6 1/3 innings for his longest outing, and then this year he went 6 1/3 again. Guy that can get strikeouts, does have potential to walk people, but hopefully if that's something he can keep in control, it'll be really good for the Otters. Obviously, we've talked a lot about this offense, but it really does seem like it starts with Graham Brown.
Oh, 100%. Graham Brown, there's a reason he's at the top of this order, and there's a reason he won Player of the Week earlier this year. He is an absolute stud. This guy just did not slow down. Even when he was cold, he was still getting 2 hits every night. They were just singles. And the real package that you get with Graham Brown is not only power, but situational hitting. We saw that in the second game against Florence, that extra innings when he had that game-winning 2 RBI single in the 10th that eventually put them over the top. And it's those moments that show you who a player really is. And Graham Brown this year has shown that he is that guy for this Otters offense. And hopefully for him and for this organization, he is not around later on in the year, and hopefully he gets picked up.
Yeah, it'll obviously be bittersweet for us because we want this team to win, but he's a guy that 100% could be getting called up sooner rather than later. Obviously, JT Benson with a huge week last week. Hopefully we'll see him this week. Obviously, he dealt with some injuries over these last couple of weeks, so hopefully we'll be able to see him. And another guy that really hit the ball well over the road trip was J.J. Cruz. Hit the ball hard, ended up going 7 for 22, a couple of doubles, hit some clutch hits as well.
Oh, 100%. He's another guy that was walking into that week. His numbers were in the middle of the pack with this offense, as a lot of them were, and he really skyrocketed in Schaumburg and in Florence. There were a couple balls he hit in Schaumburg that, if it's 2 feet to the left down the right field line, they're gone. So he's a guy that has shown that he has some good pop and also that situational hitting. He came up clutching that extra innings win against Florence as well to tie the ball game in the 7th. If he can start going at second base, a position where you don't usually get a ton of offense, how big is that?
And as I mentioned, this is the second time we're seeing the Mud Monsters, but all 3 starting pitchers will be new pitchers. Will be a bunch of pitchers we have not seen yet, and obviously we'll go into them as each of them come up. But we can look through some of these hitters. I mentioned earlier a couple of Mud Monsters being out, Nick Cash and Davis Bradshaw, definitely benefit the Otters because those are 2 of their best hitters on this squad. But a guy that we'll obviously have to watch out for is Correll Paz. His stats aren't that great this year, but man, he really lit it up against the Otters the first time they played.
Yeah, and hopefully this pitching staff is able to keep them in check. And again, against Lake Erie, the pitching staff looked really good. We felt really good going into that road trip. If they can just channel that, have confidence when they step on that mound, I don't see why they'll have any issue against this Mississippi team, which isn't really known this year so much for their power.
Now let's meet the starters for your Evansville.
That was the Papa John's pregame show. Papa John's is the official sponsor of the Otters pregame and postgame shows, available every game night, 20 minutes before and 10 minutes after each Otters game on the Otters Digital Network and on the Home Team Network. Starting lineups and national anthem are up ahead, and then we'll get to first pitch. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and on 96.9 WYIR.
The third baseman, number 11, Haven Parks. Batting fourth, the right fielder, number 20, L.J. Jones. Batting fifth, the second baseman, number 17, J.J. Cruz. Batting sixth, the first baseman, number 10, Raymond Gill. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, number 12, Keenan Taylor. Batting eighth and catching, number 28, Logan Brown. Batting ninth, the left fielder, number 3, Ty Krumberger. Pitching for the Evansville Otters, right-handed pitcher, Number 36, Landon Williman. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, would you please rise and remove your caps as we honor America's freedom, those who now protect it, pay tribute to those who have made the ultimate sacrifice for the singing of our national anthem, this evening, performed by Tony Baxter.
Oh, can you see by the dawn early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, or the ramparts where we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Tonight's game ball is delivered to you by Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Welcome back into historic Bosse Field as the Evansville Otters take the field for this top of the first inning. It'll be Landon Willman on the mound, his first professional start of his baseball career, and hopefully he can give the Otters some length here in this first game of a 6-game homestand.
Yep, you mentioned it in the Papa John's pregame show that a couple of times in the past 2 years he's gotten into the 7th inning with Bowling Green. Hopefully he can give the Otters at least 5, maybe 6 in this one. That would be plenty, especially the way the high leverage relievers have been performing this year. I think, again, if he can just do what he needs to do, sit in the low 90s on that fastball, which is what we've seen in his bullpen and in his warm-up right now, I think he will be just fine.
And it's Braylon Skinner who will meet him first. Braylon Skinner, the speedy center fielder, saw him steal a couple of bags. Really, best case scenario, you just keep him off the base, and hopefully, you know, for Landon Willman, who just got brought in today, can do that and get started off on the right foot.
As just got here last night, so still getting acclimated to everything here. Bowling Green not too far away, still acclimated to the Midwest, used to this weather. And again, I think that hopefully that he can be a good signing for Evansville and a starter here for the rest of the year.
And pitching to Logan Brown, first game of the year for him, the USI product, Evansville native, well, Mount Vernon native, but right around here. With Logan Brown behind the plate and Landon Willman on the mound, that is your pitcher and catcher battery, which is sponsored by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or call at 812-475-9000. Once again, home at Bosse Field, I'm Lucas Macklin alongside my partner Riley Angel, and hopefully the Otters can get back on track. Like we said, a rough road trip, but this team has really played really well, really good baseball at home.
They've been exceptional, and the offense, they've had days where they aren't as great here at Bosse Field, but if they can have the offense they had on the road here at home, they'll be just fine.
And it'll be Braylon Skinner into the left-handed batter's box. Landon Willman from the stretch will deliver the first pitch of the ball game. Taken for a strike, and he starts ahead 0-1. Skinner, not a guy who hits a lot of home runs, but you can say that for the entire Mud Monsters team. Only 4 home runs on the year. That one swung through, and he's quickly ahead 0-2. Only 4 home runs on the year, but their pitching staff has done a great job at limiting home runs. They've only given up 5 home runs. And you wonder if maybe their ballpark plays into that a little bit, but, as a ballpark that's not any bigger than Bosse Field. Now the 0-2 pitch into Skinner. That one's lifted high into the air, but in foul territory. It's an overhead foul ball, our first of the night. An overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best and never regret it.
Boy, is it nice to hear Zane's voice on the Heads Construction call.
It's been a whole week. Missed it. That next pitch taken low and outside. Count moves to 1-2. That one at 92 miles per hour for the newest Evansville Otter. He'll deliver from the windup. Next pitch into Skinner. That one's chopped towards third, past Pavin Parks. Just found a hole, and he'll be on first to lead off this ball game.
That's what good leadoff hitters do. In 2-strike counts, they protect. Yes, that one was outside, and he had to go after it. But, again, you never know what's going to be called a strike or not. So anything close, you got to take a hack at and just squeezed it through past Pavin Parks through the left side.
And now Skinner on first, already 15 steals on this young season. We'll see if he'll test the newly appointed Logan Brown over at first. From the stretch now, first pitch, huge secondary lead. That one's ripped high into the air into left field. Looks like it's going to hook foul, though, so just a loud strike one.
Skinner over there at first was dancing a lot on that first pitch of this at-bat. It'll be interesting to see if Willman tries to hold him off a little bit more here in the second pitch.
It's Travis Holt playing third base tonight in the right-handed batter's box. Check over at Skinner. Not in time. Holt put a jolt into that last one, but did go foul. He has 2 of the 4 home runs for the Bud Monsters. Skinner takes off. That one will be a strike. Throw over to second will not be in time. So the aforementioned Skinner with a stolen base is 16th on the year, and Bud Monsters already with a runner in scoring position.
Just kind of have to tip your cap to that one. Skinner really good at stealing bases, gets good jumps, got a great one right there, not really a chance. So Willman just now has to go back to work and try and get out of this one scot-free.
Ahead 0-2 of Holt. Huge lead by Skinner, then he dances back. That one just misses outside. A pitch you would like to get, but a great hold there for Travis Holt. Count moves to 1-2. Let's see if Willman can work out of this jam that got started by a single where Skinner just threw his bat out there. Now he's at second base with no one away. There's the 1-2 pitch into Holt. That one stays outside. Count moves to 2-2. Travis Holt, first year in the Frontier League. Scratch that, second year, spent 2023 with Schaumburg. Played in the Pioneer League last year, then joined the Frontier League once again. 2-2 pitch. That one's ripped into center field. Brown is going to have to run back. He will get under it for out number 1. Skinner's going to take off. Brown will throw it in. It'll be cut off by Camus. And Skinner will take third base, and with only 1 away, that will bring up the left fielder tonight, Kyle Booker.
Batting third in left field, 1, Kyle Booker.
Holt went up to get that one, top of the zone, hit it 93 miles per hour off the bat, but thankfully went right, at least close to Graham Brown. He's able to bring it in. And now it's the left-handed hitting Kyle Booker with a .328 batting average coming into this week. Willman will come set, deliver the first pitch. That one's taken just outside, and he starts behind 1-0.
Tell you what, today feels like the first day we've had here at Bosse Field where it's baseball weather. We're in the summer, finally.
Hot and muggy.
Yeah.
Here's the 1-0 pitch into Booker. That one stays inside. Count moves to 2-0. Infield playing back, willing to allow a run to score just to get a second out. Willman comes set, delivers a 2-0 pitch into Booker. That one finds the zone, pulled the string. A bender that was at the top of the zone. Count moves to 2-1. Holt in his second year of professional baseball. First year here with Mississippi. That one in the dirt. Count moves to 3-1. Played last year with the Billings Mustangs of the Pioneer League. After finishing his college career at Oral Roberts. Next, the 3-1 pitch into the left-handed hitting Booker. That one swung through. Count moves back to full. And obviously, Willman going to be looking for a strikeout here. If he can get that second out, it'd be huge to try to strand that runner at third. Willman looks in. He'll come set and deliver the payoff pitch. That one is blooped into right field. Gill is going to look back on it. Then it's J.J. Cruz who will come off. He'll bring it in. Skinner's going to take home. And he's going to get back there. So good reaction from J.J. Cruz to get it in. Keeps Skinner at third. And with 2 away, it'll bring up Taekwon Forbes.
About as good of a result as you can get there. Soft jam shot bloop into shallow right field. Enough for Cruz to get back and hold the runner at third. That one on a curveball up and in. Not something you see too often, but it worked out.
Yeah, and you can just, it gives credit to the speed of Skinner where he was considering going, because that was not that far out into the outfield. J.J. Cruz did good to call off Gill and get under it. And 2 away, it'll be up to Taekwon Forbes to try to get that runner in. First pitch into Logan Brown. That one is hit high and out of play. He'll start behind 0-1. Taekwon Forbes, the former second-round pick of the Texas Rangers back in 2014. Spent 8 seasons in the minor leagues before joining Frontier or Independent Ball. That one, next pitch stays high. Count moves to 1-1. Played 2023 with New Jersey. Had 17 home runs that year. Had a .298 batting average, a .521 slugging percentage. Off to a slow start so far this year, he'll call time. But you feel like it's only a matter of time before he gets things going.
And he just has that look to him, doesn't he? That look of confidence in that batter's box.
Feels
Big,
a lot like,
strong guy.
So it feels a lot like L.J. Jones whenever he gets to the box. Next pitch finds a zone, and he's behind 1-2. Forbes was held mostly quiet when the Otters went to Mississippi. Only managed a couple of hits, but also did well to walk a few times. 1-2 pitch, swung on a miss for a strike 3, a German-American bank strikeout, the first of the career for Landon Willeman. And that will end the inning. Otters strand a runner on third. Score remains tied 0-0 as we head to the bottom of the first. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and on 96.9 WYIR.
Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org.
Welcome back into Bossy Field as the Otters will head to the plate. It'll be against Rodney Theophile. Victor Diaz behind the plate. That pitcher and catcher battery is sponsored by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or call at 812-475-9000. So Rodney Theophile, his 4th start of the season. See if he can try to keep the Otters off the board, but this Otters squad has been really good so far.
They have, and hopefully here they can continue their first inning success like they did against Florence and at times against Schaumburg, especially after a first inning like that where you just had on the mound, where you finally get out of a first inning, it feels like, with a 0 on the board.
It'll be Alay Camus to meet him first into the left-handed batter's box. First pitch in from Theophile is taken low for ball 1. That one also at 92, so a couple of dueling pitchers. It looks like there was a pitch clock violation. The umpire said it's 2-0. So Camus ahead 2-0. Next pitch. That one's taken on the corner for a strike. Count moves to 2-1. Rodney Theophile in his first year of independent ball after spending 5 seasons in the minor leagues. That one ripped to right field. Diving play by the second baseman, Roberto Gonzalez. steals a hit from Alay Camus, and with one away, it'll bring up Graham Brown.
Just tough luck right there. Absolutely smashed that baseball. 104 off the bat. Had base knock written all over it, but got to give credit where credit is due to Gonzalez with quick reaction to dive and make that play.
And now it's Graham Brown, and what more can you say about Graham Brown other than red hot? First pitch taken for a ball. He starts ahead 1-0. From the windup, Theophile delivers the 0-1 pitch, a 1-0 pitch. That one's fouled off. Count moves to 1-1.
This is the time of the year where you're going to start seeing these starters and get to their regular velocities. We're going to start to see starters with a lot more low 90s, mid 90s type of stuff.
Next pitch, into Brown. Pulled a string on him, swung through it. Count moves to 1-2. Theophile got as high as Double-A ball with the Washington Nationals. Like I said, played 5 seasons within their organization. First year here in Frontier League Baseball. This is his 4th start. Pitched to a 7.82 ERA to start the season. Now the 1-2 pitch into Brown. Off-speed pitch stays outside. Count moves to 2-2.
Really good take there from Graham Brown, especially after seeing a fastball.
Next pitch in from Theophile. That one is foul tipped by Brown. He stays alive. Count moves to 2-2.
Graham Brown thinks that it was catcher's interference. He thought he felt Diaz's mitt on his bat, and here comes Andy. He's going to try and have a conversation. Very similar play happened in Florence. Catcher's interference on the same batter, Graham Brown.
Yeah, and it wouldn't have been the first time even then that it happened, but that can sometimes be tough to see for the umpire because Brown did make contact with the ball. But count still at 2-2. Theophile the next into Brown. That one is bouncer towards third baseline, but foul. Count stays at 2-2. And a good battle here early from Graham Brown. Trying to jumpstart this Otters offense early here in this game. Next pitch into Graham Brown. That one's taken outside. Count runs full. Brown in his first at-bat in Mississippi hit a home run. It was a second in as many nights. Now his first at-bat against Mississippi here in Bosse Field. That one is ripped into left field. Booker on his way back to the track, but brings it in. And another hard hit ball, but just ends up in and out. And with 2 away, it'll bring up Pavin Parks.
And to be honest, if you're a coaching staff, I think you are perfectly fine with those 2 at-bats. Both of them, 104 off the bat, scorched, just hit exactly to the wrong place. If I'm this Otters offense, I'm feeling pretty good about the start we've had, even though there's 2 outs and nobody on.
Yeah, and if just gets a little bit more under that ball, gives us Mayer, that one's easily leaving the park. But only ends up with allowed out number 2. First pitch into Pavin Parks, catches the corner of the zone for strike 1. Parks doing a great job getting on base, a .457 on-base percentage in his last 7 days. That one in the dirt, count moves to 1-1. Feels like Pavin's doing a really good job picking his pitches, drawing those walks. You know, hit the ball hard, but sometimes just not finding gaps, and hope that they can start falling for him. From the windup, next pitch into Pavin Parks. That one catches the zone, count moves to 1-2 now.
He's always going to go up there and give you a competitive at-bat. That's not the question right now, but hopefully he can start to put it in the air and send some a long way. Hit the ball hard, just rolling over it a lot right now.
1-2 pitch into Parks. That one ran in and hit him. So he'll extend the inning to L.J. Jones. That one just got away from Theophile, and really what you don't want to see, you were ahead of the batter 1-2, chance to get out of the inning, and just get one that runs in and hits him, and now you have to face L.J. Jones, who has been hitting the ball hard all year. A guy that he's had trouble finding gaps, but you still have seen the ball hit hard all year, and only a matter of time before these balls do start finding gaps. First pitch into L.J. Jones is taken at the knees for a strike, starts behind 0-1.
Man, if L.J. Jones ever swings at a first pitch, I will be so surprised.
Parks over at first, 5 for 6 on the year in stolen bases. 0-1 pitch into Jones, pulled the string on him, swung through it, and he's behind 0-2. LJ Jones at a .355 on-base percentage. He's drawn 8 walks, 10 RBIs on the year. He steps out and takes his time, and he'll step back in as he tries to reset. Tries to battle back here from 0-2. Theophile will look in and come set and deliver the 0-2 pitch into LJ Jones. That one just catches the corner for strike 3 looking. So the Otters get a runner on, but can't do anything with it. We head to the second inning, still at 0. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and on 96.9 WYIR.
Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org. For the last 5 years, the Evansville African American Museum and the Evansville Otters have partnered together to offer tickets at no cost for the whole family for the Juneteenth Negro Leagues Baseball Tribute. All are invited to celebrate Juneteenth with us on June 19th for the annual Salute to the Negro Leagues game. Pre-game activities start at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. For information on these tickets, fans can stop by the Evansville African American Museum at 579 Sandra Matthews Way in Evansville or any local Evansville Vanderburgh Public Library.
Landon Willman in there for another inning of work. Looked really good in that first inning. Hopefully he can do some more of the same.
I was very impressed with that first inning, fighting through that leadoff single, and then obviously Skinner turns singles into doubles pretty fast, getting that stolen base. But got a fly out, a very soft pop-up, and then a strikeout to go 1-2-3 after that leadoff single. Hopefully he can channel that and continue that positive momentum here in this second frame.
Yeah, and it's Roberto Gonzalez up to bat. Stepping in for some of the injured Mud Monsters here. He'll stand in the right-handed batter's box. First pitch in from Willman. Taken for a strike, starts ahead 0-1. Something we've seen quite a bit of, starting ahead of these batters instead of starting behind.
It's a good sign, especially in your first ever professional start. You got to know there's some nerves there. So for him to be able to find the strike zone early, I think is huge for this guy and his confidence.
Yeah, it must be nice coming from college. You know, he's in the mode to play, and now he's stepping into professional ball here, and hopefully he can really shut down some of these Mud Monsters hitters. That pitch just misses low. Count moves to 1-1. Roberto Gonzalez up at the plate. Played his final collegiate ball at Texas Rio Grande Valley. That pitch stays high. Count moves to 2-1. Played a couple of years in the Pioneer League before joining Mississippi this year. 2-1 pitch. Finds his own. Even count at 2-2. He'll step back into the box. Willman will shake off Brown a couple of times. Shake him off again. Now he'll come set and deliver. 2-2 pitch. That one just misses. Count runs full.
Seems like Willman has a lot of confidence in that fastball early. When he's shaking off speed, nodding to fastball.
3-2 pitch, chopper up the middle. Camus over, will bring it in, throw to first in time for out number 1. Camus doing a good job going to his left, making an accurate throw. Next batter will be the left-handed hitting Carell Paz. Mentioned it, racked up 8 hits against the Otters while we were in Mississippi. We'll see if the Otters can manage to slow him down here. First pitch into from Willman is taken low for a ball. He starts behind 1-0. From the windup, he'll deliver the 1-0 pitch. That one is ripped into center field. Brown will start back and will bring it in for out number 2. So another hard hit ball tonight. Another hard hit ball hit right to the outfield. And with 2 away, it'll bring up the first baseman tonight, Nick Hassan.
At first base, 17, Nick Hassan.
So we saw a couple of really hard hit Otters balls in the bottom of the first inning. Now here in the second, that one 101 off the bat. Fortunately, right in the vicinity of Graham Brown. Now the first pitch, that one is lifted into the air into right field. On the move is L.J. Jones to the wall, but it will fall foul. And it'll start 0-1 here.
He's attacking away with that fastball right now. I think up and away is that slot where he feels real confident in that low 90s pitch. So the pitch he got Paz out with on the first one, up and away, just shot it right into center field, and there went middle away. I think the target was up and away, though.
Now the 0-1 pitch, chopper up the middle again. Camus will move to his left and bring it in. Throw to first in time for out number 3. So good defense from the Otters. Gets them out 1-2-3. We'll move to the bottom of the second. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and on 96.9 WYIR.
Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VANDCASA.com. Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org.
It'll be J.J. Cruz up next to face Rodney Theophile. And obviously, Otters not able to muster a hit in that first inning, but hit the ball hard, especially from the first couple of Otters there.
Alay Camus got robbed of a hit on a diving play from Gonzalez ranging towards the first base side, and Graham Brown hit it again, 104, just right at the left fielder over there in Booker. So I think you're perfectly fine with those at bats, and even the L.J. Jones strikeout, you're just got to live with those because he puts up good at bats, and everyone's going to strike out. But I think you're feeling good. You've first 3 guys in the order saw this guy well in Theophile, and if that trend continues, then hopefully leads to an Otters win.
It'll be J.J. Cruz as he steps into the left-handed batter's box to face Rodney Theophile. Mentioned that this is his 4th start of the season. Looking to try to find some better outings here. First pitch into Cruz is taken for a strike, and he start behind 0-1. That one way up in the zone. Now the 0-1 pitch into Cruz as Theophile works quick. That one is lifted high into the air, but in foul territory. An overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best and never regret it. Cruz will take his time, and mentioned in the pregame show that Nate Wolgemuth signed by the Houston Astros. Obviously, that next pitch swung on a missed for strike 3. Got him on a pitch way out there. Obviously very happy for Wolgemuth, but it's going to be a big hole to fill in that Otters bullpen.
They're going to have to find a new guy to trust in those closing situations, and Wolgemuth fit that role so well. High 90s fastball, electric stuff, and he had such confidence on the mound in those high leverage spots. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Griff Hughes maybe turns into that guy for Evansville right now.
The Raymond Gill up next. He takes the first pitch for a strike, starts behind 0-1, and a little bit of a tall zone so far tonight for home plate umpire Jose Naves, but seems to be consistent. The 0-1 pitch stays low. Count moves to 1-1. Gill slipped into a little bit of a funk. Didn't play for a while, but now is back in the lineup and really finding a groove here. That one in the zone. He'll go behind 1-2. It was the series against Mississippi where Gill really struggled to get anything going, but obviously we've seen so much talent from this young kid. Now the 1-2 pitch outside, count moves to 2-2. At a 327 OBP, hit a home run in this ballpark during the Three Rivers series. Now stands in with a 2-2 count. Next pitch in there for strike 3. So a couple of strikeouts to start this inning for Theophile, and it will lead to Keenan Taylor.
And that one right there, just a fastball down and away. Not a great pitch to hit, but when you have 2 strikes on you, you have to protect down there. Just froze him.
A couple of times these Otters batters have been fooled by that fastball, maybe expecting off speed. But now it's Keenan Taylor as he tries to get this Otters lineup going. He'll take the first pitch high for a ball. Taylor started off the season on fire, and he's maintained really good pace so far. That 1-0 pitch stays outside. He gets ahead 2-0. Still at a 427 on-base percentage. Couple of home runs, 3 triples. Now awaits the 2-0 pitch in from Theophile. That one just catches the bottom corner of the zone. So he'll get back in it. Count moves to 2-1. Next pitch in from the right-hander. That one is lifted high into the air into foul territory. It'll be Hassan over to find it. He will camp under it and bring it in for out number 3. So a 1-2-3 inning on both sides of the second inning. We'll head to the third, still knotted at 0. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and on 96.9 WYIR.
Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org.
Voluntary vaccines and medication.
Here at Bosse Field for another inning of work, it's Landon Williman. He's looked really good. After giving up that leadoff single to Braylon Skinner, he set down 5-6 straight Mud Monsters. And we'll see if he can do some more of that today, here, in this inning. It'll be the catcher Victor Diaz to meet him first. Diaz will step into the right-handed batter's box. Batting .279 with 4 RBIs on this season. First pitch in from Wilman is taken outside. He'll start ahead 1-0. He'll work quick now, 1-0 pitch. That one just misses the zone. He'll start 2-0 now. Next pitch into Diaz is lifted into center field. Camus out, Graham Brown in. That one's going to fall in between them, so a bloop base hit will lead it off here for the Mud Monsters.
And here on the both of the knocks that he's given up, they've been weakly hit. That one just where perfectly landed where nobody was. Again, nothing you can be too upset about.
Now it's 9-hole hitter Samil De La Rosa. First pitch, chopper foul. Starts ahead 0-1. Spent 4 seasons in the St. Louis Cardinals organization, was signed at 17 years old, then played last year in the Braves rookie ball. Now the 0-1 pitch from Williman. That one stays high. Count moves to 1-1. So Williman gave up a leadoff hit in the first inning. Now one here in the third inning. You mentioned both of them, neither of them hard hit, but still runner on. See if he can try to manage out of this one. Now the 1-1 pitch in Diaz. That one stays outside, so now count at 2-1. Williman shaking off Brown a couple of times. Now he'll come set. Now the 2-1 pitch. That one lifted high into the air, into left field. It's Krittenberger on his way back to the track, to the wall, and that one is gone. A home run, the first on the season for Samil De La Rosa, and the Mud Monsters strike first. They take a 2-0 lead here in the first game of this series. A 2-1 pitch that was center cut. De La Rosa went and got it. Mentioned that both the hits that he'd given up were softly hit. That one was not.
Yeah, and again, not against a team you would think you would give up a home run ball to, but that's what has hurt the Otters, is giving up home runs.
First pitch into Skinner is taken at the knees for a strike, so he starts ahead 0-1. It'll be important to see if he can go after this batter here and try to get back in this game. That one stays high. Count moves to 1-1.
I mean, they gave up a home run on the road in every game except for one. So, it's something you gotta keep in mind.
That one laced just past J.J. Cruz at second. So a base hit for Skinner. He's back on the base for the second time tonight. And still with no one out here in this third inning, it will bring up Travis Holt.
Third baseman for Travis Holt.
Holt flew up to center field in his first at-bat. Obviously, we know Skinner, a huge stolen base threat. Already 16 on the year. So we'll see if he wants to take off here again. Check over at Skinner at first. Nothing doing yet.
Honestly, I don't see why you wouldn't take off here if you're Skinner, given how easily you got into second the first time.
They'll check over again. So 2 quick disengagements. So now if you throw over, you have to get him out.
Yeah, now he can get a real big lead, get a little greedy over there.
First pitch into Holt. Skinner takes off. Pitches a strike. Throw it on a second. Not in time. And another stolen base for Braylon Skinner, a second on the night. And just like in the first inning, he's going to have to try to work around a runner at second with no one away.
And there, I think that one was more, he was going on first movement because he knows. He knows if you throw over, you have to get him out or else he's getting second anyway. So he's going no matter what they're on. Just first thing he sees.
Now the 0-1 pitch into Holt. That one finds his own. He's ahead 0-2. Travis Holt spent 5 years in college. He played his last season of college ball at Butler University back here in Indiana. As he goes up against the Otters. He's behind 0-2. Williman comes set and delivers. That one lifted high into the air into foul territory. It'll go overhead for another overhead foul ball. Brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best and never regret it.
Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it.
Now we'll see if Williman can, like I said, just try to settle back in. Obviously, it's been a rough start to the inning, but nothing this offense can't come back from. You got to be able to settle down and try to keep that runner at second from scoring. 0-2 pitch in the dirt. Stopped by Brown. Count moves to 1-2. Mentioned that Holt played with Schaumburg back in 2023. And a .246 batting average with 27 RBIs. Now he'll take time. Spent last year in the Pioneer League between Billings and Yolo. Now here with Mississippi early in the year with a .297 batting average. Now the 1-2 pitch into Holt. That one taken just high. Count moves to 2-2. Willman will work from the stretch. He'll come set. We'll look in and we'll deliver the 2-2 pitch. Skinner takes off for third. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Throw to third. Was in time, but it got away from Pavin Parks. So mark it up a stolen base for Braylon Skinner. But a German-American Bank strikeout of Travis Holt. With one away and a runner on third, it will bring up Kyle Booker.
That's just one of those ones over there at third where Pavin was trying to apply the tag and thinking about that before he caught the ball. Happens a lot, and especially when the throw beat him like that, you see that a lot. Guys trying to apply it before they actually have the ball in their mitt.
First pitch into Booker stays low. He started ahead 1-0. Yearly similar situation we saw in the first inning. Booker up with a runner on third and only one away. Only lifted a short pop out that kept that runner at third. See if Willman can try to do similar to the same here. That pitch just stays inside. Count moves to 2-0. Booker in the left-handed batter's box. Will stare down Willman as he'll come set. That one lifted high into the air into foul territory. Count moves to 2-1.
Brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it.
Kyle Booker played 3 seasons at Tennessee before transferring into Oral Roberts last year. Now waits the 2-1 pitch here from Williman. That one swung on a miss for strike 2. Count now at 2-2 as Williman tries to work out of this jam here. And we saw Skinner be really aggressive on a pitch, on a pop out that wasn't that deep, so obviously you don't have to put it that far into the outfield to score him. 2-2 pitch into Booker. That one hit into left field. It'll be Krittenberger on his way back. That one sends him to the track, to the wall, and that one will carry out of here as well. Another 2-run home run. Now put the Mud Monsters up 4-0. That one on a pitch way above the zone, but Booker went and got it. Really felt like one that wasn't going to leave the park off the bat, but just carried into left field. There's definitely some wind blowing from right to left here, but
Shortstop, 10.
And it's one of those that is just hard to kind of bear with because that one was way above the zone. Like I said, Booker just went up and got it.
And on another day, that's a routine flyout with the wind blowing the way it is right now.
First pitch into Forbes. That one's lifted high into the air into left field. Krittenberger will be on his way back, but that one will be brought into the track. And now with 2 away, it will bring in Roberto Gonzalez.
With the way those first 2 flew out of the park, out to left, he made contact with that and just put it in the air out there. I was like, oh boy, here we go again. But thankfully just didn't get the right combo of.
That one was up and in. It looked like maybe he got just a little bit jammed, kept it in the park. With 2 away, it's Roberto Gonzalez. Swings through that one. Starts behind 0-1. It's 4 runs here in the top of the 3rd inning as the Mud Monsters lead 4-0. So Roberto Gonzalez up to the plate. 0-1 pitch into him will be taken outside. Count moves to 1-1. Obviously not how you wanted this game to start here in the 3rd inning. That one is lifted high and foul. Count moves to 1-2. We'll see if Willman can try to kind of settle things down here and keep the Otters within striking distance.
If you can keep it at this 4-run mark, I think that's perfectly fine. Even if it gets up to 5, but if he gives them, gets them into the 6th on the mound, that's enough to keep this team in the ballgame.
1-2 pitch in from Willman. That one just misses. Count moves to 2-2.
It's a really good pitch there. Hit exactly his spot that he wanted to hit, down and away on the fastball.
Gonzalez grounded out to lead off the 2nd inning. That one finds a zone for strike 3, gets him looking for another German-American Bank strikeout. But the Mud Monsters score 4 on a couple of long balls. Otters now are going to have to play from behind You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and on 96.9 WYIR.
For the last 5 years, the Evansville African American Museum and the Evansville Otters have partnered together to offer tickets at no cost for the whole family for the Juneteenth Negro Leagues Baseball Tribute. All are invited to celebrate Juneteenth with us on June 19th for the annual Salute to the Negro Leagues game. Pre-game activities start at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. For information on these tickets, fans can stop by the Evansville African American Museum at 579 Sandra Matthews Way in Evansville or any local Evansville-Vanderburgh Public Library. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND-CASA.com.
Back here at Bossy Field as the Otters have to play from behind once again, but this ain't really anything new. We've seen the Otters play from behind a lot this year.
Yeah, I mean, they've gotten in holes early in a lot of ball games. They've shown they can deal with it when they're here at home. But again, the long ball is what's killing them right now. It's giving up home runs that has led to getting behind in these games. It's just one swing of the bat, one big inning that has been the Otters' kryptonite. Hopefully that can subside and they can have a good inning of offense like they so often have after an inning like that.
And Theophile, after giving up getting a couple hard hit outs, looked like he really settled in there in the second inning. So Otters going to have to try to bounce back. And leading it off will be Logan Brown. First time we see him this year. Brown, a coach over at Oakland City. Looks like he wasn't ready, and so it'll be a first pitch strike because he wasn't in the circle.
I think he went up there in the circle and ran up there to call time, so he had time.
So it will be an 0-0 count. Did get time off. But Logan Brown played last year here for the Otters. Now we'll try to get things started here in the third inning. First pitch is taken high for a ball. Brown played 3 seasons at USI back when they were still in Division II. And the 1-0 pitch taken high. Count moves to 2-0. Drafted in the 35th round of the 2018 draft by the Atlanta Braves and spent 4 seasons with them for joining some independent baseball. That pitch stays inside. Count moves to 3-0 now. And Theophile really working quick here. Now the 3-0 pitch into Brown. He'll take that one high for ball 4, so a leadoff walk to start this inning. Welcome back to the Evansville Otters. Logan Brown with a walk. A Deerhead Side Walk Cafe and Bar. And now it's Ty Krittenberger. So he'll try to keep this inning going here as the Otters try to rally.
Ty is also one of these guys that has struggled a bit. He had a hot start his first couple of games, but has since fallen off. Hopefully he can get going here on this homestand.
Theophile from the stretch. Krittenberger will square around the bunt, but pull it back. Starts behind 1-0. Krittenberger with enough speed to potentially be able to bunt for a base hit. We'll see if that's what he tries to do here. Now the third baseman, Travis Holt today, creeping in over at third. He'll step back now. Next pitch, Krittenberger doesn't square around, takes that for a strike. Count moves to 1-1. But it's good enough to make sure that third baseman over there at Holt stays honest. Count now 1-1 here into Krittenberger. That one stays inside. Count moves to 2-1.
And this is when the Otters are their best, is when they're working counts, when they're letting the pitcher come into the zone first and then attacking later on in the count.
Theophile from the stretch delivers the 2-1 pitch into Krittenberger. That one stays high. Count moves to 3-1. So a little bit of command trouble here for Theophile in this third inning. Krittenberger with a .317 on-base percentage has been able to draw 6 walks on the year. He'll wait the 3-1 pitch in from Theophile. That one just catches the corner for strike 2. Count runs full. That one at the knees, and he'll have to try to battle to keep this at-bat alive. The Otters try to get something going here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Now the 3-2 pitch into Krittenberger, fouled back, stays alive. Count stays full. Here in the bottom of the 3rd inning in Bosse Field as the Otters trail 4-0. Try to get back on track after a 1-5 road trip. Now the 3-2 pitch into Krittenberger. That one chopper towards 3rd. Holt will take it in, throw to 2nd. Get the out number 1 for there, throw to 1st, not in time. So they do get the lead runner at 2nd, but Krittenberger over at 1st now puts better speed on the bags. And with 1 away, it'll be back to the leadoff hitter, Alay Camus.
And a softly hit grounder to 3rd. It's going to be really tough to turn a double play against Krittenberger because he always busts it down the line. And he's a guy, I mean, to speak to the speed that you talked about earlier, he had a bunt single in Schaumburg. So definitely a guy that can fly.
Camus into the left-handed batter's box. First pitch, he'll square on the bunt, take it. Krittenberger takes off for 2nd. That throw in time to get him. The throw perfectly on Krittenberger there. Pulled him off the bag a little bit, but was able to get it down in time. So now there's 2 away now here in this 3rd inning.
That was one of those throws where, like you said, it was off the bag a little bit, but it was off the bag to the correct side, down the first base line, and able to catch the ball and immediately slap the tag on his foot as he was sliding in head first.
Now the count at 1-0 for Alay Camus. He'll take that one for a strike. Count back evened up. Theophile from the windup delivers the 1-1 pitch. That one stays high. Count moves to 2-1. Camus, the 21-year-old out of Phoenix, Arizona. Spent 3 seasons in the Padres minor league system. Trying to keep this inning alive for the Otters. That runs inside. Count moves to 3-1. Done a good job avoiding the strikeout. He's drawn 9 walks on the year. Now awaits the 3-1 pitch in for Theophile. That one is lifted foul overhead. An overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best and never regret it. Camus will step back into the left-handed batter's box as he awaits the payoff pitch from the Mud Monsters pitcher, Rodney Theophile. That one lifted high into the air into left field. That one drifting in towards foul territory. That one will fall out near the 3rd base patio deck. Count remains at 3-2 now. Yeah, I called it a patio deck. I meant a picnic area. Patio deck's out in right field. Now, if he hits one out there, it'll be a home run.
Maybe we should aim there.
3-2 pitch into Alay Camus. That one lifted into right field. On the line, but right to the right fielder, Correll Paz. So it was a wild way to get there, but the Otters go down in order. And we're through 3. We head to the 4th inning. Otters trail 4-0. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and on 96.9 WYIR.
Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org. For the last 5 years, the Evansville African American Museum and the Evansville Otters have partnered together to offer tickets at no cost for the whole family for the Juneteenth Negro Leagues Baseball Tribute. All are invited to celebrate Juneteenth with us on June 19th for the annual Salute to the Negro Leagues game. Pre-game activities start at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. For information on these tickets, fans can stop by the Evansville African American Museum at 579 Sandra Matthews Way.
Back here, top half of the fourth inning, historic Bosse Field, 4-0, Mississippi on top. I'm Riley Angel alongside my partner, Lucas Macklin. Thank you so much for taking time out of your Tuesday night to join us here for some Frontier League Evansville Otters baseball. Be Correll Paz, the batter, due up here in this top half of the fourth. Landon Williman has worked through three. He looked really good in those first two. Just gave up two two-run shots in the third. But one of them was about as softly hit as a homer as you can get. Just put it in the air, the right angle. First pitch in to Paz is taken on the inner half for a ball, 1-0.
And you really want to see him try to battle back here and try to keep the Otters within striking distance in this one.
Paz 0 for 1 today, takes that one for a strike at 90 miles an hour at the knees. He flew out to Graham Brown on a sharply hit liner his first time. The 1-1. On the outer edge for a strike. 1-2. Paz with bright pink batting gloves. How about that? Kind of fits the uniform, though. In a weird way. The 1-2. Down and in, near the back foot. 2-2. Good crowd here on hand in Bosse Field. 2-2 pitch. Swung on, jam shot, foul. That overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. Woolman looks in, out of the windup, kicks, fires the 2-2. Fouled back, count stays. Finally in June, finally getting some summer weather. Man, up in Florence earlier this week, it was mid-60s. The 2-2 swung on, popped him up on the infield. Should be playable. In on it, the middle infielders, Cruz and Camus, but Camus calls off Cruz to make the catch for the first out.
It's a couple of times now we've seen the Otters do a good job at communicating on those pop flies and someone being able to get under it and bring it in. We've seen a few times, thankfully for usually the other team, where you have communication issues and the ball just drops in front of everybody. So Otters have done a really good job at that this year.
Nick Hassan now stands in, 0 for 1. First pitch to him. Binder down and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Wind still howling. Bit of a crosswind from right to left field. The 1-0. That one catches the zone on the breaking ball, 1-1. Right-handed batter is Hassan, awaits the 1-1 pitch. Once again, goes with the curve, and once again, drops it in there, count 1-2. On the 1-2. Swung on, jam shot, little fly into left. It'll drop down in there for a single. Another softly hit knock for Mississippi. Third of that kind today, and so 1 out hit for Hassan, his first.
It feels like Mississippi's done a good job in those 2 strike counts, just being able to lift something somewhere and find some grass, and that's what they do well, is getting on base.
Now Victor Diaz, first pitch, swung on, chopped softly to short, charging Camus. Fields just goes to first for the guaranteed out, 2 away. Runner advances to second.
Designated hitter, 24, Samuel De La Rosa.
Samuel De La Rosa now stands in.
That's important here for Willman if he can just try to work a clean inning here and kind of get back into a groove to really eat up some innings here for the Otters.
That one outside gets away from the catcher and Brown, so the runner's going to advance to third. Ball, no strikes.
Overhead foul ball brought to you by As Construction Choose the Best.
Count 1-0.
Objective here is still the same. Just get the batter here and strand that runner in scoring position.
The pitch. Swung on and missed, 1-1. De La Rosa got the scoring started an inning ago in the third with his 2-run shot. 1-1. Swung on high, chopped to third, but bounces foul, 1-2. Tell you what, it seems like Williman on the mound getting a little more comfortable, starting to work quicker out there. Hopefully that confidence stays. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on, fouled right back at the play. We'll do it again at 1-2.
That's a hanging curveball there. You don't really want to leave that one up there. It's not the first time he's hung a curveball.
A ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 4-0 Mississippi, top 4, the pitch. Swung on, high fly ball into center. Medium deep, under it, Graham Brown. He will squeeze it for out number 3. So, Williman works around a 1-out single, 4-0 Mississippi still as we head to the bottom of the fourth. You're listening on 96.9 WYIR and the Otters Digital Network.
Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND CASA.com. Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org.
Bottom 4 upcoming, 4-0 Mississippi. All of those 4 runs came in the third as Evansville will send the middle of their order to the plate, and Graham Brown, Pavin Parks, L.J. Jones.
I'll tell you what, this is who you would want to start off an inning like this where you can try to battle back. And again, we've seen it. You don't have to get all these runs right back in a row, but if you can just kind of chip away as the night goes on, we've seen your bullpen be able to keep you in these games, especially when they played against Mississippi. So hopefully you can just kind of keep trying to battle back here and there and then eventually be in a position to strike when you get to those late innings.
And honestly, despite the 2 homers, Williman has looked good tonight. He really has.
Really, there's been 3 hard hit balls that have gone for hits. 2 of them happen to go over the fence. But other than that, all the hits he's given up have been pretty weak, and he's done a good job getting some weak contact and getting some strikeouts. And again, if he can just kind of settle back in and get something going and really just keep the Otters within striking distance, that'll be huge.
First pitch to Brown is in there at the knees for a strike, 0-1. Graham Brown, so red hot at the plate. The 0-1. Swung on, fouled back at the plate, 0-2. Some would say he's in fuego.
Yeah, and even his out earlier today, that was 104 off the bat. Just a little bit more under it, and it's probably leaving the park.
0-2, outside, 1-2. Just really hope he can find a way to stay that way throughout the year, because that is massive The 1-2. Swung on, high fly ball to center, fairly deep. Under it is Skinner. He makes the catch for the first out. Now Pavin Parks. Parks was hit by a pitch back in the first, but was stranded there. Otters still hitless here with one out in the fourth inning. Parks, strong left-handed hitter, hits the ball hard, just hasn't elevated it this year, the first pitch. Inside for a ball, 1-0. He's a guy we saw last year. A lot of pop in that bat in the limited amount of time we did see him in an Otters uniform. The 1-0. Downstairs once again, 2-0. So hopefully that comes back. It's been good though. Slowly reaching that average back up to where we think it should be. 2-0 pitch here to Pavin. At the top of the zone for a strike, 2-1. When you have the start of a season where you're just struggling, it takes a while for that average to climb back up, but I think Parks is starting to get to a point where he likes those stats. The 2-1. Outside, 3-1.
Still doing a good job waiting for his pitch. Even that one that he did take was up around maybe a little bit too high, but still just waiting for the right one to swing at.
3-1. Swung on, bounced hard, foul down the first base side, 3-2.
And that's one he's going to want back because right low and inside, right where he would like it to try to pull it and elevate it, but just missed it a little bit.
Here is the payoff pitch from Theophile as he kicks and fires. Swung on, grounded up the middle, base hit. First hit of the night for Evansville. Second time Pavin Parks has been on base.
He went down and got that one, hit it over 100 miles per hour. Hopefully this can really get the Otters offense started. He can kind of open the floodgates, so to speak.
This guy has been a big part of this Otters offense in recent contests. L.J. Jones, right-handed hitter. First pitch is taken outside, 1-0. I feel like the OPS doesn't give this guy justice. 664 right now, but the way he's hitting it, it feels like he should be a little farther up there in that statistic. Maybe it's just some bad luck. The 1-0. Swung on, high pop-up, playable foul territory, first base side. Under it, Hassan, and he makes the catch, calling off Diaz, the catcher, for the second out of the inning.
Second baseman.
Another one that he's going to want back. Theophile took a little bit off of it, and he just got out a little bit too far out in front and popped it up for an easy out number 2.
Now J.J. Cruz struck out swinging back in the second. He had a good road trip as well. First pitch. Swung on, high fly ball to center. Fairly deep back there, nearing the track is Skinner, but he makes the catch before any damage is done. So the Otters get a hit, but can't capitalize. We now go to the top half of the fifth inning. You're listening on the Otters Digital Network, 96.9 WYIR.
Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org.
Remember, fans, it's back at Buffalo Wild Wings. All-you-can-eat wings and fries Monday through Thursday, now including traditional wings. That's right. All the wings and fries you can eat with your favorite sauce, just $19.99 for boneless and $24.99 for traditional wings. So, get all the heavy hitters together and head to Buffalo Wild Wings Mondays through Thursdays for a limited time. Dine in only. Visit either Evansville location, 5405 Pearl Drive and 715 North Green River Road for details. Also back on the mound is Landon Williman. He has pitched well to this point, 2 homers in the third, but despite that, has looked really good on the bump today for Evansville. He will face the top of this order for the third time, Braylon Skinner, Travis Holt, and Kyle Booker.
It'll be really important here to try to find a way to get Skinner out. He's been on base a couple of times already. He's 3 stolen bases on the night. He's really been the leader to the damage that it's been caused.
A real fast base runner. Typical leadoff guy, though. 1-0 pitch. Swung on, popped him up. Shallow center. Racing in on it is Brown. Under it is Camus, but everyone gives away to the left fielder in Crittenberger, who makes the catch.
And that's a huge first out, not just because it gets you off on the right foot for this inning, but you get Skinner out, which is always huge. Keeping that speed threat off the bases.
Now Travis Holt, 0 for 2. First pitch to him. Bullseye, 0-1.
This is what you like to see from a pitcher. Don't let that bad inning get you down. Just realize that the only thing you can do is look forward and try to keep your team in it as much as you can.
0-1, swung on and missed 0-2. Now, on one of those homers, he made a good pitch. Up in the zone, got him to chase. Now, I think good offense beats good defense any day of the week. It's kind of what happened there. 0-2 pitch. Swung on, high fly ball to left, deep, tracking at Crittenberger. Track, wall, leaps, see ya. Travis Holt, solo shot, 3rd home run of the day for Mississippi, 5-0 Mud Monsters. Long ball continues to bite the Otters in the backside. This time against a team that doesn't hit home runs. We thought we were free.
And you really do start to wonder, what it is about that ballpark that keeps balls from leaving the park, because this team's got some pop to it.
First pitch up and away for a ball, 1-0. Has to be the thick air down there in Mississippi holding it up.
Maybe that's something. I'm not an expert on the weather, how it affects baseballs.
Fouled back, 1-1. Just throwing an idea out there. You never know. But the way this team's been swinging it tonight, you question, how do they only have 5 homers on the year coming into this series? 1-1. Outside, 2-1.
Maybe we're looking at the wrong way. Maybe they magically put Bossy Field up near Coors level.
Hey, maybe.
It's that old ballpark feel. Gives the ball extra juice.
2-1. Down and away, 3-1. And the wind is blowing, but it's not ridiculous. Only 12 miles an hour right now, gusts up to 15. Nothing we haven't seen before, the 3-1. Inside ball 4. So a 1-out walk to Kyle Booker, and he reaches.
And those are some that nipped around the zone that some of those have been called strikes tonight, and you kind of wish you'd gotten them, but either way, there's a walk now, and you got to try to work around it.
There's action up in the bullpen. It's Yohan Gonzalez working right now. It's Max Peterson out to talk to his brand new arm. And honestly, all things considered, I don't feel like Wilmer's pitched bad tonight.
It's really just been the long ball that's bit him, and you kind of wonder if that's something that is going to maintain throughout the year, or if it's just this Mud Monster squad really finding it as they try to reach their prime season form.
We'll see how long the leash is for the Otters newcomer.
Long ball, not something that really bit Williman too much during his college career either.
First pitch now to Forbes, never mind, made over to first, not in time. Man, Forbes has struggled. 111 the average coming into today. He's 0 for 2. First pitch. Swung on, fouled back. That overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. It's 0-1.
So no call from Zane there.
Hey.
But on one that was in the dirt.
We got it. Don't blame us.
Maybe we're better. maybe we're better at Zane's job than Zane.
0-1. Catches the outer half for a strike, 0-2.
Or at least that part of it.
We can now be the voices of Bossy Field.
Maybe.
Pickoff attempt, second one of the at-bat means no other throw over will be made, at least unless he wants to chance it. See how big the Booker lead gets now. 0-2, runner goes up and away for a ball. Throw down from Brown is not in time. He's in there safely. Fourth stolen base as a team already here in this fifth inning. Then again, Skinner does have 3 of them, but I think some of that stolen base really can be more attributed to Wilmer throwing over twice and base runner able to go on first movement than anything else. Count 1-2. 1 away, runner on second base, 5-0. Mud Monsters, top 5. Wilmer sets out of the stretch, fires. Down and away, nice back pick by Brown to keep it in front of him. Count evened up at 2 apiece.
And if you're the Otters, you really want to get Wilman at least through this fifth inning and then push it to your bullpen. Try to start, assumedly, Yohan Gonzalez with a fresh inning.
Wilman sets. Hands belt high, fires. Low again, 3-2. The way Theophile is pitching, you would really like to strain that runner on second base. Payoff pitch into Taekwon Forbes. Here it is, the 3-2. Outside ball 4. Second walk in a row, second walk in total tonight for Wilman. And it brings up Roberto Gonzalez. Here comes Max Peterson. We'll see if this is the change being made, with it only being his first outing.
I say 90 pitches on the night for him. Not a pitch count he hasn't gotten to before, but not one that is common of him, and it looks like they will make the change.
So Yohan Gonzalez stands in. We'll talk more about him when we come back. 5-0 Mud Monsters on 96.9 WYIR on the Otters Digital Network.
For the last 5 years, the Evansville African American Museum and the Evansville Otters have partnered together to offer tickets at no cost for the whole family for the Juneteenth Negro Leagues Baseball Tribute. All are invited to celebrate Juneteenth with us on June 19th for the annual Salute to the Negro Leagues game. Pre-game activities start at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. For information on these tickets, fans can stop by the Evansville African American Museum at 579 Sandra Matthews Way in Evansville or any local Evansville-Vanderburgh Public Library. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND CASA.com.
Back here in the top half of the fifth inning. 5-0 Mud Monsters. Yohan Gonzalez now stands in. He enters today, 6.40 his ERA, 12 2/3 innings pitched. Comes in the middle of this inning. He's been stretched out to pitch a couple of innings at this point, 2 innings now his usual. We'll see how he looks here today against a Mud Monsters team that seems to be feeling themselves here tonight at Posse Field.
Yeah, and they've really shown up offensively. But again, it's not a position that the Otters haven't been in before, and now they get Yohan Gonzalez out there, who looked really good back in Mississippi as well. Had a 2-inning performance where he looked unhittable, and we'll see if he can give some length here for the Otters now. But first, it's going to be getting out of this 2-on with 1 away jam.
He'll start by facing Roberto Gonzalez. Gonzalez 0 for 2 tonight. First pitch from Yohan is inside 1-0. Yohan, a guy that has been reliable, the ERA up there because of some early season outings. Obviously, as a reliever, that ERA can go sky high real quick. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on, fouled back, 1-1. See how he does here against Roberto Gonzalez. Women's Day not done quite yet. Still responsible for the 2 runners on. If they were to score, they would be charged to him. 1-1 pitch. Swung on, soft fly ball into right. Charging in on it is Jones. Slides, makes the catch for out number 2. Jones was playing deep and right, had to come in real hard to even have a chance at making that catch, and did so. 2 away.
And talk about a big catch. If he doesn't bring that one in, even if you sit in front of him, probably bases loaded with only 1 away. If it gets by him, who knows what happens. So big catch there for out number 2 and a chance to get out of this inning with no more damage done.
Now Correll Paz. He's 0 for 2 as well. First pitch out of the stretch from Yohan. Just misses outside, 1-0. So a ball, no strikes. 2 away. Runner on first and second. Infield playing, Paz to pull. 1-0 pitch. Outside, never mind. Called for a strike. 2-0. Excuse me, 1-1.
And Gonzalez obviously at his best when he's able to be accurate with that fastball and control it, and really tough to hit when he's on.
The 1-1. Swung on, popped him up. Foul territory, first base side. Gill under it, in the grass, makes the catch for the 3rd out. So Gonzalez strands the 2 he's inherited with. We go to the bottom of the 5th, 5-0 Mud Monsters. You're on 96.9 WYR on the Otters Digital Network.
Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org.
bottom half of the fifth. Back out is Theophile. Also fans, it's back at Buffalo Wild Wings. All you can eat wings and fries Mondays through Thursdays, now including traditional wings. That's right, all the wings and fries you can eat with your favorite sauce. Just $19.99 for boneless, $24.99 for traditional wings. So get all the heavy hitters together and head to Buffalo Wild Wings Mondays through Thursdays for a limited time. Dine in only. Visit either Evansville location, 5405 Pearl Drive, or 715 North Green River Road for details. Raymond Gill, Keenan Taylor, Logan Brown, the 3-2 up for Evansville, trying to break through after they have been scoreless the first 4 innings of work on only held to 1 lonely hit.
Yeah, we were talking with the Mississippi broadcaster before the game and talked about how the pitchers usually pitch pretty well but have a really bad blow-up inning. Hopefully this can be the inning for the Otters here as they try to get back in this one.
Some chin music up for Raymond Gill as he bends back out of the way, 1-0. It's kind of felt the same way for Evansville recently, too. Just one big blow-up inning. 1-0 pitch. Swung on and way out in front, 1-1.
And the Otters, they scored 9 runs in each of their last couple of games and clearly not out of it yet. If they can get something going.
Gill takes a strike on the outer half, borderline. 1-2. When a guy's pitching the way Theophile is, he's going to get some calls out there. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on, chopped foul down the third base side. Count stays. Especially on the breaking stuff, when he's locating it, umpire's going to reward him. A ball, 2 strikes, no outs. Raymond Gill to lead it off. He had 2 hits in the finale against Florence. That was the first time he had gotten a hit in about 8 days, which for a baseball player feels like an eternity. The 1-2. Thought about going, called strike 3 of the knees. So Gill goes down looking for the second at bat in a row.
Number 12, Keenan Taylor.
Now Keenan Taylor, he popped out in the second. First pitch to Taylor. Bender up and in for a ball, 1-0. Keenan has split his time between left field and the DH spot as the 1-0 pitch comes in. Taken for a strike, 1-1. But has found his groove and his spot in the order, either 6 or 7, and DHing. The 1-1. Swung on, high fly ball to left, down the left field line, chasing back, goodbye! Keenan Taylor, solo shot, gets the Otters 1 closer. Third homer of the year for Keenan Taylor. Finally breaks the Otters through here in the 5th.
And you just hope that gets the Otters going because they need to keep trying to scratch back. That one was 20 degrees off his exit angle. That's about as low as you can put it and still get out. That was a wall scraper if I've ever seen one. I wasn't sure at first if it went over or if it went off the wall because that white wall out there is really hard to see.
First pitch is called a strike to Logan Brown. Logan Brown, left-handed catcher. The pitch, up and in. 1-1.
You are missing your child who is wearing a Cardinals hat and shirt. Head to the third base concessions to meet your party.
The 1-1. Brown takes high, 2-1.
If you're missing your child who came to the ballpark wearing a Cardinals hat and shirt, your choice by the way, you can meet him at the third base concessions with Otter staff.
Brown today walked, but was a part of a fielder's choice and was stranded. The 2-1 swung on, fouled back 2-2. That overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, finish it, Zane.
Choose the best, never regret it.
There we go.
You were a little bit out ahead, but
Just a tad. We tried it. the 2-2. Outside, 3-2. Tough take.
Feels like all of these Otters catchers have some fantastic eyes at the plate. See it with Justin Felix, draws a lot of walks. Cohen Wilbanks has done a great job at drawing walks, and now Logan Brown trying to draw a second walk in as many at-bats so far this season.
Logan Brown called time whenever Rodney Theophile was in the middle of his windup. Jose Navas, the home plate umpire tonight, gave it to him. Otters have had this crew a couple of times this year already. As the 3-2 pitch swung on and missed, a bit behind. Another strikeout. 5th of the night for Theophile.
Left fielder, number 3, Ty Krittenberger.
Now it's Ty Krittenberger. He grounded into a fielder's choice and got caught stealing in the 3rd inning. First pitch. Swung on, popped high in the air, and slicing foul and out of play, 0-1.
Ball is brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it.
Krittenberger just hoping to find a groove here in this homestand. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on, popped up, should be playable on the infield. Under it, Hassan, the first baseman, makes the grab for the 3rd out. Keenan Taylor brings the Otters one closer. It's 5-1 after the DH's solo shot. You're listening on 96.9 WYIR and the Otters Digital Network.
For the last 5 years, the Evansville African American Museum and the Evansville Otters have partnered together to offer tickets at no cost for the whole family for the Juneteenth Negro Leagues Baseball Tribute. All are invited to celebrate Juneteenth with us on June 19th for the annual Salute to the Negro Leagues game. Pre-game activities start at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. For information on these tickets, fans can stop by the Evansville African American Museum at 579 Sandra Matthews Way in Evansville or any local Evansville-Vanderburgh Public Library. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND-CASA.com.
Yohan Gonzalez back out here in this 6th inning. Yohan was able to get a flyout and a pop-out to strand the 2 runners he was inherited with back in the 5th. We'll see how he does against this bottom 3rd of the Mud Monsters order. Evansville just looking for some momentum after that solo shot from Keenan Taylor. It's 5-1 here in the top half of the 6th.
And hopefully Yohan can stabilize this kind of defensive side of the ball for the Otters and allow that offense to work back. The offense has been so good so far this year.
Nick Hassan, 1 for 2 today.
17, Nick Hassan.
He singled in the 4th. And the first pitch to him from Yohan Gonzalez is up and in for a ball, 1-0. Firmly in the twilight hour here in Evansville, Indiana, the 1-0 pitch. Down and away, skips behind the catcher and Brown, but no one on, so no harm, no foul. 2 balls, no strikes. Here it is. Swung on, little jam shot, shallow fly into center. Back on it, J.J. Cruz, who makes the catch for the 1st out. Otters fans, if you're not aware, tomorrow's game, special start time, 12:05 p.m. instead of the usual 6:35 on a weekday. So if you're planning on making it out to that one, be well aware of that. If you show up at 6:35, we probably won't be here, but you never know. First pitch here to Victor Diaz, swung on, bounced hard to short. Camus fields, throws to first, scoop over there by Gill, and that is out number 2.
It's a great scoop over there by Raymond Gill. That's a huge difference between runner on and one away and then no one on with two away.
Samil De La Rosa.
Now Samil De La Rosa.
I know you said that we probably won't be here, and me and you probably won't, but I can't say the same for Matt Will. I don't know about him.
Poor guy. First pitch is taken by De La Rosa in there for a strike. Heck, he might be here till 11 o'clock tomorrow night. You never know. 0-1 pitch. Swung on, bounced foul, little cue ball. 0-2. Hey, maybe we will be here tonight at 6:35 too, depending on when the Storms get here. Tarp.
I don't want to think about that.
Fingers crossed.
That's a problem for down the road. Tomorrow.
The 0-2. Swung on, high fly ball to center, not deep. In on it, Graham Brown makes the catch for the third out. 1, 2, 3, go the Mud Monsters. We now go to the bottom of the sixth. 5-1 Otters trail on 96.9 WYIR and the Otters Digital Network.
Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and More can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800.
Bottom of the sixth. 5-1 Evansville trails, but they got one back an inning ago thanks to a Keenan Taylor solo home run. And it'll be the top of the order, Alay Camus, Graham Brown, Paven Parks. I'll tell you what, Alay Camus has gotten so unlucky today. He lined one hard in the first inning, but a diving play by Gonzalez robbed him. Then he lined one hard to right field, but pass right there to make the catch.
Yeah, it's just one of those days where you have good at-bats, hit the ball hard, but balls don't find the holes. Baseball can be a cruel mistress, and it's been cruel to Camus so far, but I mean, obviously you're down by 4, but no better time to get started than the present, and hopefully the Otters can get something here from their leadoff hitter and allow their hot bats to follow suit.
The first pitch to Alay Camus is swung on in a foul ball down the third base side, a weak grounder, 0-1. Camus also, by the way, the Edward Jones leadoff batter of the game, if you were not aware. He's been in that leadoff spot a lot this year. Couple of games in the 9-hole as the 0-1 pitch is taken up and away 1-1. And I think either of those spots fit really well for him, depending on how you construct your lineup, what philosophy you use, so on and so forth. The 1-1 swung on, fouled back, 1-2.
I mean, the way he swings his bat, really anywhere, 1 through 5, he fits pretty well. It's just a guy that's going to hit the ball hard and does a good job working, try to get on base, and a guy that you love to have near the top of your lineup and hope, like I said, starting off innings, and hopefully he can get the inning started for the Otters in the right direction.
1-2. Swung on, bounced softly to short, charging Forbes, fields, throws in time for the out.
Forbes not letting his struggles at the plate affect him in the field. That was a great charging play, especially with the good running ability of Alay Camus. Makes a tough play look easy.
Now Graham Brown, 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts, 1 to left, 1 to center. First pitch. Swung on, bounced softly to third. Holt fields. Holt throws in time for the second out. So Paven Parks now stands in.
Third baseman.
Pavin today is 1 for 1.
We'll see if he can get a two-out rally going. The Otters team has done a really good job at being able to get those two-out rallies going, and no reason not to have one here in the 6th.
Squares around but pulls it back and takes a strike. 0-1 the count. Theophile has looked really good so far tonight against Evansville. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Out in front of it was Parks, 0-2. Good sign for Mississippi, but not great for Evansville here tonight.
They've had a pretty good pitching staff so far this year, near the top in lowest ERAs, and it showed whenever we went down to Mississippi the first time, and it's showing right now.
The 0-2. In the dirt, 1-2. Pavin, one of those guys where gets behind in the count. 0-2, 1-2, not going to panic. Seems comfortable in whatever count he's in, or at least gives that illusion. 1-2 pitch. Swung on, popped foul. That overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. Count stays 1-2.
With how many fly balls this ballpark's taken, I'm sure Bossy Field doesn't regret it.
The 1-2 pitch from Theophile. Down low, I guess, 2-2. Everyone on the field thought it was strike 3, but our good old trusty Trek man supports Jose Navas behind the plate.
It is a strike he has called all night, though, so.
The pitch. Swung on, foul tipped right back into the mitt for strike 3. We go now to the 7th, the back third of this game. Otters trail by 4, 5-1 the score here on 96.9 WIR on the Otters Digital Network.
Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org. For the last 5 years, the Evansville African American Museum and the Evansville Otters have partnered together to offer tickets at no cost for the whole family for the Juneteenth Negro Leagues Baseball Tribute. All are invited to celebrate Juneteenth with us on June 19th for the annual Salute to the Negro Leagues game. Pre-game activities start at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. For information on these tickets, fans can stop by the Evansville African American Museum at 579 Sandra Matthews Way in Evansville or any local Evansville-Vanderburgh Public Library. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND CASA.com.
Mississippi. The Hoosier Lottery strikeout batter in center field.
Back here at Bossy Field as the Otters try to fight back here in the final third of the game. I'm Luke Smacklin alongside my partner Riley Angel, and it's Yohan Gonzalez out there for another inning of work. It's only taken him 13 pitches to get 5 outs in this one, and no reason to not let him rock out again. We mentioned that he's had some really good outings, but he's had some down outings. He's given up 9 total earned runs this year. 7 of them have come in 2 outings. So obviously a guy that when he's hot, but has had some struggles.
think that's overall a good sign, though, only having those 2 bad outings. And again, you have 2 bad outings in the first month of the year as a reliever, that ERA is going to look really bad. But I think overall he's been pretty dang good for Evansville so far this season.
It's the leadoff hitter, Braylon Skinner, to meet Gonzalez here. He'll pitch from the stretch. First pitch in, he'll square to bump, but pull it back. It's a ball. Count moves to 1-0. It's Otter night here in Bosse Field, and even though every night might feel like Otter night, a special Otter night. Got some Otter facts. That one's ripped towards first base, but just foul. Count moves to 1-1. Had some fun Otter trivia earlier in the game, and now the Otters trying to fight back and get a big win. Count 1-1 here to the Mud Monsters leadoff hitter. That one lifted into center field. Brown on the run in and will get under it and bring it in for out number 1. One of those that was just hit a little bit too hard and carried all the way to Brown. And with 1 away, it'll bring up the third baseman, Travis Holt. He looks to expand on this 1-for-3 day. He had a solo shot back in the 5th inning. That pitch taken in there for a strike. Gonzalez starts out ahead 0-1. 4 runs in the 3rd, 1 in the 5th. Otters got 1 back in the 5th. We stand at 5-1 here in the top of the 7th inning. 0-1 pitch into Holt. That one hit foul towards the left side of the field, and he'll quickly be behind 0-2 as Gonzalez continues to work extremely effectively in this one.
You know, we're talking about Otter fun facts. After this pitch, I want you to just take a guess on what an average sea otter weighs, what the weight of a sea otter is.
I'll think about it as Gonzalez comes set and delivers the 0-2 pitch. He delivers. Swung on a miss for strike 3. A German-American Bank strikeout for out number 2 will lead to the left fielder, Kyle Booker. Also has a home run in this game. I mean, it's like a small dog, right? Like 20 pounds, 30 pounds?
45 to 90 pounds.
Ooh, 90?
Yeah.
Like when they're first wet?
It's a good question, actually. I didn't look too far into it.
First pitch in there is taken for a ball. He'll start ahead 1-0. Kyle Booker will.
Guess you can't believe everything you read on the internet. But
Was it the Google AI?
it might have been the Google AI. That's might have been.
I'm not discrediting you. It might be true. Next pitch taken for a strike. Count even back up at 1-1. Booker 1 for 2 on the day. Had a 2-run shot back in the 4th inning. Also walked in this game. Now Gonzalez, count at 1-1, comes set and delivers. That one lifted foul and overhead foul ball. Of course, brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best and never regret it. Booker behind 1-2 against Yohan Gonzalez. Gonzalez came in the 5th inning with a couple of runners on, stranded both of them, and since is smooth sailing for him. Now the 1-2 pitch. That one stays outside. Count moves to 2-2.
Yohan got some extra juice on that one. 94 miles an hour. I think that's the fastest pitch I've seen him throw this year.
Count now at 2-2. He'll deliver to the left-handed hitting Booker. Hit towards Cruz at second. He'll bring it in. Throw to first in time for out number 3. So Gonzalez goes 1-2-3 once again. Score still 5-1. We head to the bottom of the 7th. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and on 96.9 WYIR.
Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org.
Bottom of the 7th inning as the Otters trail 5-1. Rodney Theophile back out there for another inning of work. There is some action in the Mud Monsters bullpen, but the way he's been pitching, no reason to think that they won't stick with him. It's 1 run on 2 hits. The run came on a solo shot from Keenan Taylor. Other than that, Otters have been held quietly in this one.
Another thing to note for Evansville in their bullpen, another newcomer, Jack Washburn, up and throwing right now.
We'll see how they plan to use him. Obviously, a guy who has started in the past and would be able to give you length, so could potentially be a guy to close this one out. But it'll be L.J. Jones to lead it off here for the Otters in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch into Jones. Chopper fouled that one off of himself. He takes a knee in the right-handed batter's box. Home plate umpire Jose Navas going to walk that ball out to Rodney Theophile as he lets L.J. Jones walk around a little bit.
LJ took a beating in that series against Florence. There's a concrete wall that's not covered down both lines in the outfield, and he slid knee first into the one in right field and made a phenomenal catch. But he acted like he had blown his ACL. Everyone was worried. Got right back up, finished the game, was in the lineup the next day. Dude's a trooper.
He steps back into the right-handed batter's box. Count at 0-1. Theophile will come set and deliver. That one lifted high and overhead. And, of course, that's an overhead foul ball. Brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best and never regret it. Zane sped through that one. He almost caught up to me. Count now at 0-2 for L.J. Jones as he looks to stay alive. Next pitch on the ground towards short, past the glove of Tyquan Forbes, and a leadoff base knock for the Otters. They try to get something going here in the 7th.
You don't want to question, but Forbes right there, it almost looked like he didn't even see it off the bat. He kind of just stood in place and watched it go by him. Yes, it was hard hit, but I think most shortstops try and go over and make a play. He just kind of stood right where he was. His feet didn't even move.
It's now J.J. Cruz stepping into the left-handed batter's box. First pitch into him is taken for a strike at the knees, starts behind 0-1. Cruz, like so many other Otters, hitless on the day. He'll come set. Theophile will deliver the 0-1 pitch into Cruz. That one lifted into right field. That's going to get past the second baseman Gonzalez. And so back-to-back base hits. And the Otters have something cooking here in the 7th.
That's what you like to see. A little bit of luck go the Otters' way there on a pitch that was high. Not very hard hit, a ton of topspin on it, so sunk right past Gonzalez over at second base. And now you have a chance for Raymond Gill and the rest of the bottom of this order to come through big.
Some bad luck early off the bats of the Otters, now some good luck, and now it's Raymond Gill coming up to the plate. We've seen he has some home run power. He'll wait the first pitch. Theophile will step off and reset. And wonder how long head coach Jay Pesci will go with his starter that's looked so good tonight. First pitch into Gill. Taken inside, he starts ahead 1-0.
I almost think that If he gives up a base runner here, he's worked in the 7th. He's proven that he's good. And if he gives up a base runner here, kind of almost have to take him out. You would think anyway.
Guy being on deck, Keenan Taylor, a guy who's already got to him. 1-0 pitch into Raymond Gill. Chopped up the middle. Forbes will take it in. Toss to second for one. Throw to first in time for a double play. And quickly now there are 2 away. Sounded like maybe a broken bat there, but tough break for the Otters when it looked like they really had something going. It's Keenan Taylor up to the plate. The lone offense for the Otters so far with a solo shot. Now he's got a runner on third as he tries to scratch back some runs for the Otters. First pitch into Taylor, taken inside for ball 1. Starts ahead 1-0. It's 96 pitches on the night for Theophile. This will be his 97th. Next pitch, high into the air into left field, into foul territory, but it will get out of play. Count moves to 1-1. Feels like a run that the Otters really need right now, as they running short on outs. 7 outs remain in this game. They need to get 4 runs before that time comes. Keenan Taylor with a 1-1 count. L.J. Jones at third. That one past the glove of Nick Hassan over at first, and that's going to be a RBI base knock for Keenan Taylor. So his second RBI on the night, the second run for the Otters, as they now trail 5-2.
He has been so good this year. It's really big to have a bat like that in the bottom of your lineup who can come through in big situations. And tonight, he's the whole offense for Evansville. The solo shot and that RBI single.
He's been so good with 2 outs and runners on, his 9th 2-out RBI of the season. And now it's Logan Brown with a runner on first. Chopped up the middle, right to Forbes. He'll throw it over to first in time for out number 3, but the Otters do get a run back on a Keenan Taylor base knock. They trail 5-2 as we head to the 8th inning. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and on 96.9 WYIR.
For the last 5 years, the Evansville African American Museum and the Evansville Otters have partnered together to offer tickets at no cost for the whole family for the Juneteenth Negro Leagues Baseball Tribute. All are invited to celebrate Juneteenth with us on June 19th for the annual Salute to the Negro Leagues game. Pre-game activities start at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. For information on these tickets, fans can stop by the Evansville African American Museum at 579 Sandra Matthews Way in Evansville or any local Evansville-Vanderburgh Public Library. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND CASA.com.
New pitcher on the mound for the Otters. It's a newcomer, Jack Washburn. In his first appearance, Jack Washburn on the mound. Logan Brown behind the plate. That pitcher and catcher battery is sponsored by the Ansett Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Ansett Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or call at 812-475-9000. So first appearance here for Jack Washburn. Obviously just joined the Otters with Landon Williman. Spent last year with Lake Country. He had 4 seasons in college, spent between Oregon State, Ole Miss, and Texas Tech. Made 53 appearances, started in 21 games, had a 4.3 ERA, and those were some pretty big schools he pitched at.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely knows what big-time baseball feels like, not only being in the SEC, but also with Texas Tech, who themselves is in a pretty big conference. We'll see how he does here now at the pro level.
First pitch up and in. So first pitch is pushing the batter off the plate. That batter is Taekwon Forbes. Count at 1-0. The former second-round draft pick steps back into the right-handed batter's box. Washburn last year with Lake Country had 7 appearances, pitched 9 1/3 innings at a 3.86 ERA. That one is chopped foul, and count moves to 1-1. Just another guy for the Otters to hopefully either build out a bullpen or potentially use as a starter. Obviously has experience in both. He's coming out of the bullpen, and we'll see if they want to use him for the next 2 innings. 1-1 pitch, lifted high into the air, but foul, and overhead foul ball. Of course, as always, that's brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best and never regret it.
Never something to regret.
Overhead foul balls you can never regret, at least. Count at 1-2 now for Washburn. That one's foul tipped, but into the glove for strike 3, a German-American bank strikeout. And with 1 away, it will bring up Roberto Gonzalez.
13, Roberto Gonzalez.
Good pitch sequence there. Went fastball 4 straight times, well, 3 straight times, and then dipped it down low with the spinning stuff. Got a nice swing and miss. Got Forbes to swing over top of it.
First pitch in from Washburn in the dirt. Count moves to 1-0. Gonzalez 0 for 3 on the day. Also was a strikeout. The 4, 5, 6 batters all hitless for the Mud Monsters. That one is taken high. Count moves to 2-0. Felt like in Mississippi it was a lot of singles that ate at the Otters. Tonight's been the long ball. Now the 2-0 pitch. That one is foul tipped. That one went off the mask of the home plate umpire Jose Navas, and Logan Brown making sure he was all right. Joked a little bit with each other there.
And now it's squared up. It's ready to go.
Count now at 2-1 for the Mud Monsters' second baseman. Two-one pitch. That one's fouled back again. Count moves to 2-2. A couple of those now have been fouled directly back. Roberto Gonzalez on the year is 13 for 52, leading to a .250 batting average with 9 RBIs. He's drawn 3 walks to 8 strikeouts. Now he's on the verge of his another one. That one lifted into center field. That one's going to bloop down in front of Graham Brown. So a 2-out bloop base hit, and with 1 away, we'll bring up the right fielder, Correll Paz.
Right there, went down and got it off the end of the bat. A little sinking line drive into center field, got down in front of Graham Brown, who is playing not extremely deep out there, but on that one was playing a little farther back.
So now a runner on first with 1 away. First pitch into Paz is taken inside. Count moves to 1-0. Washburn takes a look over at first. Now comes set. Delivers in the 1-0 pitch. That one's a chopper towards second. Cruz will take it in. Toss to second for 1. Over to first will be in time for out number 3. A Hoosier Lottery Powerball double play. Play the Hoosier Lottery, and please play responsibly. And that one's going to end the inning for the Otters. They put down the Mud Monster scoreless. They still trail 5-2, but as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning, you're listening to the Otters Digital Network and on 96.9 WYIR.
Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800.
Reed is on the mound. Diaz behind the plate. Pitcher catcher battery inspired by
New pitcher on the mound for the Mud Monsters is Michael Reed. Victor Diaz behind the plate. That pitcher and catcher battery, as always, is sponsored by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Greenwood Road, or call at 812-475-9000. So new pitcher on the mound. Another one of these guys that was initially drafted as a position player. In fact, he was drafted in the second round back in 2016 out of the University of Florida. Spent 8 seasons in the minors before transferring into a pitcher. This is his only his second season as a pitcher, but so far this year for Mississippi, a 3.52 ERA in 7 2/3 innings.
Starting to see that more and more now. Guys trying to revitalize a pro career, switching over one way or the other. You see it, now with Joey Gallo switching over, Tyler Naquin as well switching over to be a pitcher.
Looks like a ball got away or something on the field. Ball boy had to go and get it. And now we'll go back and play. It's Ty Crittenberger, the 9-hole hitter, who will meet him first in this inning. First pitch, he squares on a bump, but pulls it back. That one's called for a strike. Count moves to 0-1. That one at 95 miles per hour. Again, Reed has come in and he's put in some work, that is for sure. Next pitch in from Reed is taken at the numbers, and he's quickly ahead of Crittenberger 0-2. Saw Michael Reed in the first time against Mississippi. Pitched an inning, gave up a hit, walked a batter, didn't strike anyone out, but didn't give up any runs. See if the Otters can get to him here. The 0-2 pitch into Crittenberger. Swung on a miss for strike 3. So 3 pitches to Crittenberger to strike him out, and with 1 away, that will bring up Alay Camus.
I mean, he just said, here's my best stuff. Try. Just try and hit it. And there on the third pitch is through a 96-mile-an-hour fastball right by him.
Yeah, and just put it middle, but 96 is hard to catch up with. Now 1 away, Camus at the plate. Third baseman, Travis Holt, is leaning in. That one is ripped hard into center field. Skinner is going to go back near the track, but bring it in for out number 2. And just bad luck after bad luck for Camus. That one was ripped off the bat, but just went right to the center fielder, Braylon Skinner.
Just one of those nights, man. Just one of those nights. That's 3 really hard-hit balls that you would like to see fall for Alay Camus, but at the end of the day, baseball is one of those sports where it just does.
And now it's Graham Brown with 2 away as he tries to extend this Otters inning. He'll take the first pitch high and get ahead 1-0. Brown has hit the ball hard a couple of times tonight, but still looking for his first hit. The 1-0 pitch into Brown is taken in the dirt. Count moves to 2-0. And very rarely will you see Graham Brown not leave the game with at least getting on base somehow. I'm not one to expect that to change. And he's ahead 2-0 here to Michael Reed. That one is taken at the knees for a strike. Count moves to 2-1. That one at 97, so Reed is picking it up. And back in Mississippi, he was around 94, 95, but he was not at 97. And the 2-1 pitch in from Michael Reed. That one's taken outside. Count moves to 3-1.
Again, this time of year, you start to see guys' arms, they get to midseason form, and that's where they have their best stuff. And seeing it right now with Michael Reed.
Brown doing a good job, being patient, waiting for his pitch. Now he's got the count at 3-1. Here comes the pitch from Reed. That one ripped hard into foul territory, but it's going to hook foul. That one was ripped, but out a little bit ahead. Count now full. That one only at 95, so.
Only.
Considering where he's been at, he was gearing up for 97, but got 95 and just pulled it a little bit too much. And now the count's full for Michael Reed. We'll see how he goes here. Here's the payoff pitch. That one swung on a missed for strike 3. Just went fastball after fastball. So he sets down the Otters in order. We head to the 9th inning. Otters down by 3. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and on 96.9 WYIR.
Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org. For the last 5 years, the Evansville African American Museum and the Evansville Otters have partnered together to offer tickets at no cost for the whole family for the Juneteenth Negro Leagues Baseball Tribute. All are invited to celebrate Juneteenth with us on June 19th for the annual Salute to the Negro Leagues game. Pre-game activities start at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. For information on these tickets, fans can stop by the Evansville African American Museum at 579 Sandra Matthews Way in Evansville or any local Evansville-Vanderburgh Public Library.
New pitcher on the mound for the Otters will be Alex Valdez. Valdez on the mound, Logan Brown behind the plate. That pitcher and catcher battery is sponsored by The Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at The Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or call at 812-475-9000. Valdez comes in being one of the most trusted bullpen arms, and now obviously with the call-up of Nate Wolgemuth, his name's going to be that much more important in this Otters bullpen.
And his last time out, he sent 6 up, 6 down against Florence. He looked really good. One of those outings where he just had the right stuff and was moving it the right way. Hopefully that same Alex Valdez steps onto the mound here tonight, because boy, do they need it. Struggling to find offense right now, and a big 1-2-3 or even just getting them scoreless. It would feel huge going into this bottom half of the 9th inning.
And first to face him will be Nick Hassan. First pitch chopper towards third. Parks will pick it up, throw on the run to first is in time for a quick out, number 1.
1,872. 1,872.
Next will be the catcher, Victor Diaz.
Catcher 25, Victor Diaz.
He'll step into the right-handed batter's box. Valdez pitched an inning and a third against Mississippi back in that 3-game road trip. Looked nearly unhittable against this Mississippi squad. Looks like we got a little bit of a delay.
They are having minor technical difficulties with the pitch clock.
And it looks like pitch clock is out once again in center field. Not the first time we've seen that happen.
So close to it working the entire game.
And now the umpires are having a quick meeting.
At first, I thought Navas was calling a pitch clock violation on Valdez, and then everyone looking confused.
This is obviously not the first time we've seen this happen in this very old stadium. Trying to add new technology to an old stadium never seems to coexist, does it?
No, it doesn't. I mean, I don't think they had the pitch clock 100 years ago. Could be wrong.
Maybe it was a Bossy Field special. First pitch quickly from Valdez is taken for a strike. He wasted no time once home plate umpire Jose Navas got behind the plate. And now he's going again quickly. That one is hit high into left field. It'll be Camus, who will camp under it and bring it in for out number 2. And with 2 away, that will bring up the 9-hole hitter, Samil De La Rosa.
And even without a pitch clock, Valdez, one of these guys, he's not going to waste any time, especially when he's feeling good. He's going to get the rock and go.
24, Samil De La Rosa.
He is in his rhythm right now. He'll look into Brown. He'll come set and deliver. That one swung through for strike 1. Gets ahead 0-1. He'll come set, quickly deliver the 0-1 pitch. That one's taken low, count moves to 1-1.
He's moving a little extra fast tonight, I think.
This is Valdez's 11th appearance on the season. Now the 1-1 pitch. Chopper towards short. Camus to his left. Will bring it in. Spin throw over to first in the dirt. Gill dug it out, but it popped out of his glove. He brought it in with his right hand, but not in time. And then one is beaten out by Samil De La Rosa, but what an attempt there by L.A. Camus. Moving to his left. The spin throw, but just not in time. Now it's the leadoff hitter Braylon Skinner up once again with 2 away. Valdez now from the stretch will deliver the first pitch. And their first strike gets ahead 0-1. Valdez will look in, take a quick look at first, down comes set. Delivers the 0-1 pitch. Fouled back, and he's ahead 0-2. So obviously he liked to work quick when he was in the windup, and now you got a runner on, try to vary it up, work a little bit slower. Come set once again and deliver the next pitch. Runner takes off. That one is popped up and foul overhead, and overhead foul ball. Brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best and never regret it.
Choose the best. Hooray, never regret it.
Hooray. Count still at 0-2 for the Mud Monsters center fielder. De La Rosa over at first. He's attempted 4 stolen bases and been caught 3 times. So he likes to run, but he's not the best at it. That pitch stays high. Count moves to 1-2. The team Mud Monsters coming into this one were 40 for 51 on the season. The Otters were 41 for 48. Now runner takes off again. That one is fouled back overhead again. Count still at 1-2.
The overhead foul ball brought to you by me at Heads Construction. Choose the best and never regret it.
Now De La Rosa will take a slow jog back over to first as he tries to catch his breath. Skinner, a guy who's really good at fighting and drawing out counts. Doing it here once again. Count still at 1-2. Valdez comes set. He'll look into Brown and he will deliver. That one in the dirt. Great stop by Brown. Count evens up at 2-2. Skinner back into the left-handed batter's box. Valdez comes set. Delivers 2-2 pitch. Runner takes off. That one fouled back again. So every time the runner goes, Skinner fouls it off. Every time the runner stays, it's a ball.
Seems like they're just trying to do the hit and run a lot right now, and especially with Skinner up, a guy who makes a lot of contact, obviously can do good things and foul off pitches that he needs to. So not necessarily surprising that they have the hit and run on right now. Trying to get that extra insurance run.
Count it 2-2 into Skinner. That one chopped off himself all the way to the shortstop, Camus. Count still at 2-2, and he will take his time, try to walk that one off. Home plate umpire Jose Navas taking his time, walking back to the plate, making sure that Skinner is all right. Now he'll step behind the plate. Valdez will look in, and he will come set. Here is the 2-2 pitch into Skinner. That one taken for strike 3. A German-American bank strikeout looking to end the inning. Otters will head to the bottom of the ninth, needing 3 runs to tie this ball game. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and on 96.9 WYIR.
Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND-CASA.com. Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org.
Ninth inning time as the Otters need some runs. It's Michael Reed back out there for another inning of work. It'll be Paven Parks to lead it off. So he looks to try to get this rally started.
Man, and if Michael Reed looks anything like he looked in the 8th inning, this is going to be tough, but not impossible. We've seen the Otters do things like this before here in Bosse Field. They always seem to be a later inning team. We'll see how the middle of this order fares. Paven Parks has had a decent day, and he has one of the few hits that Evansville does have tonight.
Obviously, three runs going to be a tall task, but not one that's impossible. Paven Parks will take a practice swing or two, and then we'll step into the left-handed batter's box. Reed will come set, deliver from the stretch. The first pitch into Parks. Takes that one on the inside part of the plate for strike 1. He starts behind 0-1.
If he can find that slider for a strike, man, that's a tough combo to hit right there.
Felt like he was gassing them up in the first inning. Now starts paving off with a slider. That pitch. Pulled the string on him again, and he's ahead 0-2.
Now if you're Paven, you have no idea what he's going to throw, because you know in the back of your mind you have to be geared up for 96, but then you just see 2 straight really tough sliders at the bottom half of the zone. Tough spot to be in as a hitter.
Reed will come set and deliver the 0-2 pitch into Parks. That one stays outside. Count moves to 1-2. Three straight pitches. First two at 84, that one at 87. Spinning this hole at bat, taking it off, and now he's got a 1-2 count to Paven Parks. That one chopped towards first. A tough hop, but brought in by the first baseman, Nick Hassan. He'll toss it over to Reed. And a quick out number 1 will lead to L.J. Jones.
Yeah, they did not want to mess with Paven Parks on a fastball in that situation to lead off that inning. Paven, a fastball hitter, is where he gets a lot of his hits from, and they did not at all give him a chance there. Just all off speed, nothing but spin.
And that one hit off the edge of the grass right to Nick Hassan. He did a good job to handle it and bring it in. But now, first pitch into Jones is a fastball up in the zone for strike 1. Starts ahead of Jones 0-1. Looks in and comes set. And now delivers the 0-1 pitch. That one stays high. Tried to pull the string on him, but didn't have command of that one. Count moves to 1-1. Reed once again comes set and delivers. That one runs inside. Count moves to 2-1. And it feels like just doesn't really have the same kind of control on his off-speed pitches when he's going up against a right-handed hitter. Now he's behind 2-1 here to L.J. Jones, the former Springfield Cardinal. Tries to get the Otters rally started here in the ninth. 2-1 pitch, laced down the third base line for a base hit. That one's going to go all the way to the bullpen. He's going to round first and head to second base. It's a one-out double for the Otters. A Deerhead double-decker double. And with one away, that will bring to the plate J.J. Cruz.
And J.J. Cruz has been hot. How about L.J. Jones ready for that fastball up and in? Reed tried to tie him up, but he just turned on it like it was nothing. There's a reason this guy was as high in affiliate ball as he was, and that's it right there.
And now it's J.J. Cruz. Followed in L.J. Jones with a hit. Tries to do it again. First pitch in from Reed is hit high into the air, a pop-up in the infield. It'll be Holt who calls off his team and brings it in for out number 2. And so a quick out number 2, it will bring up Raymond Gill, final hope of the night for the Otters. Obviously, his job is just to get on base and get that tying run to the plate. But it is no small task with the man on the mound, Michael Reed, pumping 97. First pitch in to Raymond Gill. Takes that one outside, starts ahead 1-0. Reed will look in and come set and deliver the 1-0 pitch. Swung through it, off speed there on that one. Count moves to 1-1. Reed spent time with the Padres, the Athletics, the Dodgers, as well as Milwaukee and Texas before joining some independent ball. 1-1 pitch, chopper towards short. B. Forbes, he will take it in. A long thrower to first is in time for out number 3. And so the comeback attempt falls short. The Otters fall 5-2 in their first game of the 6-game homestand. Move to 8-13. They'll be back tomorrow at 12 o'clock for a early Wednesday game.
Yeah, just tough one there. Offense never got going, but obviously some good things to talk about when we go to the post-game show. The bullpen looking really good today, and I think I really do think Williman, he looked good, gave up some homers, but if he can stay consistent and give the Otters, honestly, what he gave them tonight, night in, night out, I think they'll be just fine.
We'll go to a short break, and when we're back, we'll go to the Papa John's postgame show. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and on 96.9 WYIR.
Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org.
Welcome into the Papa John's postgame show. Remember, Papa John's is the official sponsor of the Otters pregame and postgame shows. Available every game night, 20 minutes before and 10 minutes after each Otters game on the Otters Digital Network and Home Team Network. So Otters come up short in this one. They lose 5-2 in a game that felt honestly eerily similar to how they looked when they were in Mississippi. They just couldn't find the hits.
Just one of those days, it really was. We started the day off thinking, man, they're having some really good at-bats, hitting the ball hard, just right at people. At the end of the day, that's kind of just how the whole game went. there were stretches where it just seemed like they were struggling a bit at the plate, but overall, hitting the ball hard, just right at defenders, and baseball. Just one of those sports where you give an inch, it takes a mile. It giveth, it taketh. Just one of those things. You're going to have those nights. Tough one for Evansville, but obviously I think the bullpen today looked really good. The bullpen did not give up a run. Just point blank, period. Right there, Yohan, 2 1/3, a strikeout, no hits allowed. Jack Washburn, newcomer, had an inning, gave up a hit, straight at him, struck out 1. And Alex Valdez came in, gave up a hit, straight at him, struck out 1 as well. Bullpen just looked good. And going into tomorrow, the rest of this homestand, I think that's a good sign overall.
It was Landon Willman who got his first start in professional baseball. He went 4 1/3 innings, gave up 7 hits, 5 earned runs, walked 2, struck out 3. But as you mentioned, he looked good for a lot of that. Just really, it was the long ball that bit him.
It has kind of been like that the past couple of games for Evansville. They gave up a homer in 5 of their 6 road games during the road trip. And when they give up a homer and don't hit one themselves, they are not very good. So it's just one of those things where the long ball continues to bite them. And today, against a team where you don't expect that to be your downfall, it really hurts. They just have to be ready to come in here tomorrow, new mindset, flush this past week down the toilet. Just flush it down there, come in tomorrow, start off a win streak.
It was 4 home runs for Mississippi coming in, 3 tonight. So different type of ball game. For the Otters offense, it was L.J. Jones with 2 hits, Keenan Taylor with 2 hits. Otters finished with 6 hits total, so those guys accounted for 4 of the 6. Keenan Taylor with both RBIs, a RBI home run in the 5th inning, and then an RBI base knock with 2 away in the 7th. But other than that, the bats, as we mentioned, just fell short. But one of those things that you don't see often with this Otters squad, and the only thing you can do is come back tomorrow and try to face it head on.
Absolutely, and hopefully that's exactly what they do. And again, you got some good outing. You got a good outing from the bullpen. Tomorrow you have a guy that has been on the mound before going for you, so hopefully we can see John Beamer come in here and do what we know he can do, even though he's had a rough go of it the past couple of starts. We know he can be consistent. We know he strikes out a lot of batters.
Yeah, it's John Beamer for the Otters tomorrow. It's James Boré tomorrow for Mississippi. New pitcher we haven't seen yet. Remember, game tomorrow at 12:05 p.m. It's a special noon game for the Otters. So we'll be back here on a short turnaround as the Otters look to try to bounce back and try to get back into that win column. That was the Papa John's post-game show. Remember, Papa John's is the official sponsor. The Otters pregame and postgame shows available every game night, 20 minutes before and 10 minutes after each Otters game on the Otters Digital Network and on the Home Team Network. On that note, Home Team Network is the exclusive home of every Frontier League game this year. Check out the Home Team Network to sign up today and get a front row seat to every Otters game this year. So Riley, obviously not the outcome the Otters wanted, but anything else to say about tonight's game?
I just think that there's a lot of positives going into tomorrow, and I think this is a series after today. I think we can be confident in winning because we know this offense. They have these days every once in a while. Every team does. But the majority of times they step out on a ball field, they're going to score over 5 runs. Didn't tonight, but we know they can.
And that'll do it for tonight's ball game. Reminder, we're back at 12:05 tomorrow. And can't wait until then. For Riley Angel, I'm Lucas Macklin. Signing off for tonight's game. We'll see you hopefully tomorrow. And as always, have a fantastic night.